now, by the way.
I cannot because I bought my code on Green Man Gaming.
I can't because I don't have the money yet.
Nice. Thanks
I
for the
mean-
update there, Gray.
You're
It doesn't matter. I'm gonna get it tomorrow, so I'm not like hugely concerned.
Go ahead and get this preloaded. What am I? No, hang on. First off, I'm very
Gray's not
rarely
orange.
sarcastic. So fuck yourself.
No, that was
Is
not the tone that
not-
I heard,
That
sir.
was not the cadence I used. Oh, go fuck yourself. Listen, if I'm going to be sarcastic to anyone in this chat, it is not going to be Gray.
Like, of all
Yay.
the people in this chat that don't deserve it, Gray is at the top.
At this point, I'm willing to say that we should just install Gray as the mascot for 2IS. Yeah, he can be the stand-in Suthner.
I mean, he certainly will do a good job of holding up the Max flag of being the only decent person on the show.
That is oof.
Oof.
Ow.
I
You
am.
pain me, sir.
I recognize that I'm sinking the ship to kill the
you're
captain.
Bostonian. You're automatically discluded from being a good, decent person.
Alright, you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah.
I've seen the way your city is designed. You can't be a good person.
Look, okay, it's
I've been
not
there
my
too.
fault.
You
It's not my
continue to
fault.
exist
Boston.
there and pay
Absolutely
taxes.
your fault.
You
You are
contribute to the
absolutely
system.
at fault for your ancestors' sins. Now let's get going, gentlemen.
Not my fucking fault our ancestor decided,
All
what should we do
Bostonians
to
inherit
build
the
our
original
city?
sin.
What should we do to build our city? Oh, we should follow that cow shitting in the woods.
Hey, hang on a second. You're forgetting the important part. The cow ate some coffee beans first.
Damn straight it
Yeah,
did.
of course it did. Of course it did, and that created the Dunkin' Donuts we all know and love today.
Yeah, I mean that's how everyone gets coffee, isn't it? They feed cows coffee beans. first.
So, on the one
No.
hand, I do like Dunkin' Donuts. On the other, maybe we should kill that cow with a time machine because them going to Dunkin' is stupid.
Going to Dunkin'
Reminder
Donuts,
that
boy.
I'm the first one to misspell donuts, and now everyone spells donuts like Dunkin' Donuts does in fucking Boston.
How does Dunkin' Donuts spell donuts?
Dount, I think.
What?
What in
Madness.
the
What?
fuck?
Do you mean DONUT?
Hold on, I fucking can't
Has
remember. off the
Nose
top of my
Hair
head.
Jesus
misspelled
Christ.
donuts in his complaint about misspelling donuts?
Nose
No, I
is
said
just
how they're spelling it is DONUTS. It's supposed to be DOUGH.
yeah, but you said DOUNT, and I'm like, wait, hang on.
Dunkin'
I also
Donuts.
misspelled-
Oh my
I'm
god,
s-
they're part of Big
is-
Gay.
I'm not even gonna comment on that.
So I figured we start off with some Naruto stories tonight, gentlemen, just to get the blood flowing,
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
not exactly getting the blood flowing.
I mean, it'll certainly get some blood flowing. Mostly because of my anger.
Oh,
that was-
yeah, okay, yeah.
that was a loaded sentence.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know, man, the shit we see on this Naruto podcast, the fucking section, I don't know
Are
if
we
I want to know where
rebranding
that
now?
blood is flowing to.
Are we rebranding
like,
Sneaky? Are we a
I
Naruto
didn't
podcast
realize
now?
that you
Yeah, we're a
people would
Naruto
assume.
podcast.
So,
We
okay,
secretly
hang on a
always
minute.
were a
No,
Naruto podcast.
it is an absolutely
No,
understandable
hang on a
assumption to
second.
make.
Hang on a second. How long have you two specifically known me? You should know better than to know
Dude,
that I would have any interest in that.
I
Oh, yeah,
don't
no,
know,
no,
dude,
no,
I
no,
don't know,
Sneaky,
man.
he's
You
got
have
a
a
point.
body
The only
pillow of
time-
me in your house. I don't know what to feel about it, okay?
You sent it to me, so.
No, I
No,
didn't.
sneaky.
I'm sorry, let me rephrase that.
Sneaky. Give it a
You
second.
provided the images for it willingly.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah, he did.
and
It's worth
What do you
every
mean,
cent
and?
and every ounce of his time, too.
No, Sneaky, you don't understand. He takes off that cover and then puts on a cover of Mordred. That's how he uses that body pillow. Don't worry about it.
I don't know. I think he just takes a little. I think he's too cheap for that. He'll probably just take like a picture of Mordred and like tapes it over my face, and that's all.
No, he's
That
absolutely
pillow
willing
stays
to shell out.
firmly at the top of my closet where I
Uh,
don't have to look at it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I would
I'm not
rather
getting
you
rid of
burn
it because it was a gag gift and I do occasionally get a chuckle out of it.
That's
Do you still
fair.
have the Aladdin CD I gave you?
Oh my
Yes,
God.
and I actually still have the fucking socks
Does
set,
anyone
too.
give him a serious gift?
I gave him a
Max
serious.
Max has given me
I've-
serious gifts.
Specifically, I've sent him a couple home defense devices and a handful of model kits.
All right, that's it, Atin. I'm sending you a claymore.
Wait,
Please
like
do not.
the mine or
Or the sword. You know what? Sneaky, don't answer.
you live in
Let
New
it be a
Jersey? It could be
surprise.
either. It's a legitimate question.
He's
No,
gonna send-
don't answer the
he's gonna
question,
send
Sneaky.
you
Let it be a surprise.
he's gonna send the fucking-
It'll be a surprise. Just be aware of any clicking
Alright,
noises.
just-
Okay,
Look.
okay. I'll accept this under the conditions that if it's a real claymore, that better be full tang.
I was gonna
Well,
say, just make sure the
define
sword's
real
not haunted.
claymore.
Claymores
Yeah,
are
you
probably
said
the
real
most
claymore,
haunted
like,
kind
wait,
of sword.
hang on. That's not making this better.
I just want to be clear. If I'm gonna receive a weapon, I want it to be a real weapon.
What if I actually
Sneaky,
sent
would you
him a
like me
real?
to keep you? Would you like me to
Oh.
keep you updated on any sales of claymores in the future?
Yeah, the mines or the swords. I can go with either.
Where the
Alright.
hell would you find a fucking claymore sword for sale?
Are you
Military
serious?
surplus.
surplus.
People.
No,
likely
I mean
deactivated.
for sale. I know they sell them, but where would you find a good discount for one?
I know
military
people.
also-
surplus.
Why the fuck does the military have swords?
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
Oh,
I
you
guess.
meant for the sword claymore. Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
the sword claymore.
okay. No,
Okay,
I have
hang
multiple
on. I do want to
websites
point
I
out,
haven't touched in a
I
while.
really don't think the military is surplusing out claymores.
I mean,
I mean, it would be
you don't know.
hilarious.
You would
Let me
be.
rephrase that. I really hope they aren't.
What
would
are you
be
saying? You
surprised,
don't think that
unfortunately.
the military doesn't have like magic claymores ready for when the aliens invade? Because the U.S. government military is just like fucking just throw shit at a wall, see what works.
By the way, I
Um,
should point out, and
yeah.
you mentioned you wanted one that would be battle ready. I
Yes.
want to point out, even if it's a display claymore, it's still a baseball bat hunk
that is
of metal.
fair. No, technically
still gonna
speaking,
do
claymores
damage.
were not that sharp. They were just really.
Okay, let me rephrase that. I want
They
a
were very
claymore that I
heavy.
can swing repeatedly without worrying about damaging it.
Oh, you don't need to worry about that, even with
Yeah,
the dull
so,
claymore.
claymores again. The whole
Claymores are
damaging the
hunks of
sword
metal.
aspect is if it's made out of really shit metal, or if the edge is especially sharp, which with claymores you don't really have to worry about because it really is just a hunk of steel.
Yes,
and,
I understand the purpose of the claymore was not to cut, but to smash.
No,
Yeah,
it
they were
cuts.
no.
It cuts.
They,
Claymores
well,
cut.
it cuts,
cut
but it was
by
mostly
smashing.
meant to cut through like it was supposed to cut through lines, including shields, halberds, and shit.
Shad actually made a video about this recently. Is that
Less Shad.
what do you mean what Shad?
Chad.
No,
He
I
doesn't
said
know.
bless Shad.
Oh, bless Shad. Yes. Oh.
Let's be clear. Bless Shadiversity, the man who makes excellent military videos.
He showed about
Yes.
how even an unsharpened sword, like he literally ran his hand down the edge of the blade, quote unquote, and like no cut up here on his hand. And, like it was a very blunt sword, but because the sword was so heavy, it was still fully capable of cutting. Because there is a certain threshold of mass times acceleration equals object will part before you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Shit kind of just gets out of the way. There is a point where you don't need a sharp edge anymore, and it's just divide.
That's why the katana is the sharpest sword in military history. It has no mass behind it. It's made with glorious Nippon steel, folded thousands of
1,000
times.
times because it's made out
Have
of
you seen
fucking
that
bog
fucking-
iron.
Oh my god, that fucking blacksmith anime! I remember fucking seeing that gif. It's like, the fuck am I looking at?
Yeah. Tension
I
is
want a
apparently
blacksmith
having
anime.
existential dread over drawing porn to survive.
Oh, that's gonna be Arn.
I was gonna say, listen.
That was tension.
Yeah,
Listen,
I was about to say that's tension.
Tension,
currently.
I
said
promise you,
tension.
you'll be fine. What was it? It was
The
it was
furries
Snuffy.
pay well.
Snuffy had to do that for a while. If
Yeah.
you've got good parents, they'll understand that you're doing it to make a living. Just show them the price tags.
Basically, yeah.
And
Okay,
keep it.
so-
Listen,
Show
here's the
them
other trick.
the $2,000 you make off a single drawing that's really shittily drawn.
Keep the half-empty bottle of vodka there, just so
You're
that
gonna
they
need
think
it.
that you're right. You're like, I'm gonna draw half of this, chug, draw the other half, and when I wake up in the morning, I won't remember why, but I know I'll have $2,000.
Basically, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I drink to forget what I'm fucking drawing.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, so
Then
yeah,
after a couple
Naruto.
years, draw your own VTubing avatar that's a sexy girl, go online and make millions.
More
Thanks,
or less,
Snuffy.
yeah.
Okay,
But
real
yeah,
talk
I'm just
stuff
gonna
is
send.
hilarious,
I'm
but
actually
yeah.
gonna send Atin a landmine, an
He's good.
anti-personnel landmine. But I'm actually gonna put a sword on top of it, so when he goes, "Oh, cool sword," he'll just hear it click.
There is a pipe
Listen,
bomb
if
in the
that's how
mail.
I go, I'll be like, all right, fair enough.
It's the Roomba with a claymore, except it's also
What
a
is my
landmine.
purpose? You bring me vodka. Da.
Wonderful.
Oh god. Anyway, so Naruto stories, eh?
Wow. Could we not?
No. A New Route by Mika the Supreme Ninja. Okay. Being smart was supposed to be good thing for Mika, but it got him kidnapped by Root at the age of 8. That's pretty late for Root. A survivor more than anything else, he buckles down and buries his hate of Danzo until he can be free of Root, free of being controlled, and finally getting the chance to do what he wants. It will take time, but he is prepared to do anything. So first off, the author is suggesting that this 8-year-old somehow survives Danzo's extremely thorough, mind-breaking, child-breaking trainings.
I didn't know Danzo was a priest.
I mean, he dresses like one.
Shinto
That's
one,
our-
yes.
And that's our fucking edgy humor of the night, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh no.
It ain't the end of it.
Well, Arn's not here, so...
Blessed be the
You
Omniscient.
think I'm less edgy than Arn?
No, I think you have better self-control.
That's fair.
Barely.
Which is really fucking
Yeah.
depressing, by the way.
You should be. So honestly, it sounds like a very boring story with a very unbelievable premise overall. I mean, at least it's still a Naruto story, so it has that going for it. But I don't know. I just have a hard time suspending my disbelief that this child is randomly picked up off the streets, years late. Because again, Danzo knows what he's doing, and he typically targets the younger ones. Because age 8, you're already going into the academy. So I mean, it's like so he picks up this kid late, and this kid somehow is proving resistant to all of his child-breaking experiments. And then instead of being like, oh well, I guess I just won't kill him and I'll give him all this power, because Danzo's hyper paranoid, and if he thought one of his Root agents was actively looking to like escape being en route, he would just have them killed or broken.
In a heartbeat.
And considering the fact that he has a fully working Sharingan in his eye,
In his
And he
eye
can
and
just-
then on his
he can just
arm.
genjutsu you. Well, I mean, yes, but he can just the one he has in his eye is like
Yeah.
the one that gives subtle mind tricks.
Yeah,
Like, he
the
can
ones
just-
on the arms are backups for a very specific purpose.
Yeah. Like,
Yep.
this dude literally can just straight up go up to you, ask you, hey, are you loyal to me? And you'll answer without even knowing why, and then he'll say, okay, now forget I asked this question, and then he'll walk away, and you won't remember him asking you. So, like, I don't know, author. I don't know about this one.
What the hell did I come back to?
Author just being dumb.
Oh.
Book 1, the enemy, Tamari of the Sand, is dangerous, cocky, and beautiful. He brushed the last one off the list after a second of eyeing her. He he brushed beautiful off of the list. Okay. After eyeing her because she looked like she could split a mountain in two. Cringe author.
Why would you?
Oh, this
I
woman
don't
is
understand why you
incredibly
would remove
fit.
beautiful.
She's not beautiful anymore. She's fit. Okay. Interesting standards,
It-
but all right.
Odd.
I must say, author, I disagree with you wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
Do you so I know
Understandable.
about Atin's taste, so I gotta wonder, Atin, do you know about Rima?
Who?
Ah, I see.
If it's not
Rima
two-dimensional,
or
I don't care.
Ramia.
Let me get it.
Yeah, dude, link him that for him because I figure of all people.
What are you two talking about?
I have no idea
It's
what they're
this
talking about.
indie webcomic artist whose
Oh, boy.
webcomics are very berserkish in art style, featuring a bunch of extremely muscular women.
Oh.
I mean,
Odd.
okay, but unless it has like an actually good story, it's still not going to be enough to get me.
Supposedly
Like-
it does. I don't read it.
What the fuck
but...
was the name of
I
this?
don't read it. Ramya.
Like that's the thing.
Trying to
Like
find it.
I have too high of a standard. I recognize that, but I demand to be artistically
Ramya
entertaining.
Yana?
Speaking
I
of
have
which-
put it.
When the hell are we getting another book of Reporters of Vending Machine? It's a
Never.
wonderful, wonderful shit post.
Okay, let's see what this is.
I have not read it, but quite a few people on the SDM who actually have good taste, aka not Andros,
Hmm.
actually enjoy it.
Oh, holy shit! He wasn't kidding.
What?
Okay, well, I'll link this to you guys as well. I was honestly expecting that to be a shit post, but it wasn't.
Mm.
All right, well, let's get back into it. Unexpected accidents. This is a in-progress story.
Holy shit! That's terrifying.
I'm assuming you just got to the real life part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's like someone copy and pasted Gaston.
Yeah.
That is a thing. Oh my god.
I mean,
It's gotta
you know,
be drugs, right?
It's 50-50 because you can reach that sort of performance body art. He's clearly a bodybuilder. You can
Oh,
tell by the
absolutely.
veins and how the skin is very stretched. But
Real talk, sir. Terrifying and impressive.
I mean,
Yeah.
it might be steroids. I don't think it's steroids.
Listen, no matter what, terrifying and impressive, sir.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, it's 100%. I mean, hey man, if you got the body and you want to cosplay that, you know, you fucking do you. Damn.
That's one of the most accurate cosplays I've seen. So
I'm pretty sure if that dude fucking walked in shirtless to an anime con, people would just be like, all right, okay, you know what? We would have a shirt for policy, but you know, fucking hell.
Normally we have a shirt policy, but
This is
I mean,
cosplay.
what exception to this?
There's two reasons we're not gonna comment on it. One, excellent cosplay. Two, holy shit.
I would like to not have my spine crunched.
Anyway, so yeah, this fanfic story wants to tell us that it's an in-progress story, guys. He's still writing it. Unlike every other fanfiction on this website, apparently.
yeah, Sneaky, didn't you know? Like, I didn't tell you this, but we actually did finish Scorched Earth Shattered Steel like 4 years ago, man.
Yeah,
You just never knew.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't know I finished my own story. It's wild. That he has to, for some reason, tell us this is an in-progress story.
Do you think 99% of the stories on this website they're just done?
I think less than 1% are.
Apparently. I love authors that do this. I really do, because it's just like, buddy, you're right. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go write a story in the crossover section. What's gonna be? It's gonna be a Naruto DxD story. Well, how will they know it's gonna be a Naruto DxD story? Oh, don't worry, I'll tell them in the summary. Like, I think I can figure it out by the fact that it's in the Naruto DxD section. But hey, man, you do you. Budding feelings that neither thought was there suddenly appear. Wow, this author's just being right on the nose with it. He's just like, yeah, guys, no, straight up, they didn't feel anything before, but they do now because it's in the story. All right. In other words, Sakura has her hands full dealing with Naruto and Sasuke and their issues. Naruto's also a girl in this story. There's going to be sex, language, and sexual assault. Sakura's gonna fuck Ino. Oh, okay.
That was an escalation.
Wait. I'm sorry, my brain just record scratched. What did you just say?
Which part?
I mean, all of it, but the very end specifically.
Sakura's gonna fuck Ino, apparently.
I thought you said that, but, okay then.
That just came out of fucking nowhere. Alright. Sure, author. Oh god, the fucking summaries on these stories sometimes. Will the hero be able to get together with their freaking antagonist? Also, these characters are having sex. It's like, well, that's a fucking escalation.
And here we go!
Veminance. Presented with an opportunity to strike back at the Leaf, Sasuke becomes relentless, and a war begins against Itachi with severe consequences. And a war begins against Itachi. Wait. Presented with an opportunity to strike at the Leaf, Sasuke starts a war with Itachi. With severe consequences.
Wait, what?
He
That
was
doesn't...
already at war with him, to be technical.
Is he starting a war with Itachi on his side, or he's starting another war against Itachi? Well,
Apparently
or
it's
is
war
it a
against
three-way?
Itachi.
Like...
I don't know, Max, but what I do know is this guy has been writing this story for 5 years, and he's written a book every single year. He's nearly at 2 books. He's at,
and there are some publishers that wish their writers had that kind of consistency.
Yes, yeah. I
wish we had it.
I do
too.
Yeah, hey, when are you gonna get that next chapter out, by the way?
Tanya's almost done.
The Tanya chapter's done. If people just want to look at it and give me their opinions, I don't need spelling and grammar help on it. I just need...
Tanya's not what I'm interested in.
Undying Scarab, yeah. That one's also almost done. I just have to go through it now.
Oh, it is nowhere near.
Oh, this is so weird. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Sneaky, real quick.
Yeah.
I was looking at the thing for the next Steam Fest.
Yeah.
They have Casey introing it.
Who?
Like, the lady who always runs all the events at TI. She's always doing the interviews.
Yeah. Well,
I was like, wait, what? They had her doing something else? What? I didn't know they allowed her out of the Dota hole.
I was gonna say, I mean, like, they, they, like, they do have her doing all that Dota stuff, so, I mean, it would make sense that they're like, hey, the Dota stuff ain't doing too hot, want to do this other stuff? And she would probably be like, yeah.
The Dota stuff's not doing too hot, because you're not fucking
just a
doing
second
anything to help
of,
it.
rest in peace, Moonduck.
What happened with Moonduck?
Coronavirus killed it.
Oh yeah. Unfortunate.
Literally, all we've got left is Purge and Slacks. To be fair, that's all we ever really cared about. But
Yeah.
Yeah, coronavirus just fucking murdered all live events.
Well, I mean, also, I mean, like they also had like What the Duck, and other such podcasts, and they had like a news thing for Dota stuff, and like there were events going on that they just couldn't go to, like, you know, live with, in person. But they just stopped that in 2019. All the podcasts stopped. Only
because
some.
Valve stopped everything.
Well, yes, but like other shit was going on still. Like they still, like, there's no reason why they couldn't have gotten together and talked about like hero changes and crap like that, like they were doing for the past every podcast and stuff. Anyway, then like a bunch of people left the organization, and then their Twitter pretty much is only being used these days to promote someone else's podcast that isn't really a podcast. It's just two of the people that used to be part of Moonduck who just kind of sit down and talk to each other. It's like, okay. And I don't know, Slacks has gone silent. Like,
No, he hasn't.
he streams on Twitch, I know, right?
Yeah, he's streaming like every day.
Yeah,
Slacks decided that he's just gonna make money doing what he does best, vomiting words that is somehow pretty entertaining.
fair enough.
Yep.
Scarlet Justice! A story of growth, a story of self-confidence, a story about pride, a story of power, a story of ages, for the ages. A
What else
story
is
of
it? A
triumph.
story of repetition,
Welcome to a
perhaps?
moment in history, the birth of the legend herself, Caroline Kobayashi, a woman of the hidden leaf. That is cringe. That is beyond fucking cringe. That is hyper cringe. It's not edgy. We've moved out of the edgy sphere, I've noticed. I haven't really had to bitch about edginess in a long time on this podcast. Now it's just cringe. Like the edginess is gone. It's just all that was left was cringe. The edginess was water that carried the cringe along. The edginess has evaporated, and all that's left is the fucking crusty cringe behind.
I need you to stop saying words.
Look, edgy cringe is at least funny. Just regular cringe is just not.
Yeah, pretty much. Because it's just like these stats are actually sad. Like, gonna be real with you here. These stats are genuinely sad. 40 chapters, around 3.5k words per chapter. This story has been on. Wait, what the fuck? What do you mean it was published February 1st? Is this a V2 author? Anyway,
Right.
it was published February 1st, but it has 140k words, 2 reviews, and 13 favorites. What are these reviews? Using English names in the Japanese setting is a red flag. I'm not reading. Interesting. Well, I mean, yeah. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. 100 stories for Mega Man, Naruto, Bleach, Cardcaptor, Sakura, Haruhi Suzumiya, Grim Grimoire, High School Dead, and Sonic the Hedgehog. Not only is that a wild smattering.
Okay, I mean, most of them, like shonen. I guess shonen is the overriding theme, but
Okay, a legacy project that's being cross-posted from sufficient velocity. This is an OC-led story that rewrites the entirety of Naruto history to make a new story. Why? Like, look, I'm not one to talk, but at least when I rewrote the history and backstory of a setting, it's because the canon history and backstory of the setting was just completely unusable and unreadable and made no fucking sense and constantly contradicted itself. At least the Naruto setting is...
At least the Naruto setting is what?
Coherent and
Mostly
consistent with itself. So, yeah. I don't see a reason to rewrite all of that. I mean, like, if you were gonna rewrite, air quotes, it, I could understand you just being, like, discluding, the whole, in Space Invaders angle that, Miyazaki, right? Wait, who's the guy that... Kishimoto. That Kishimoto included into late Naruto is the whole alien invasion angle and shit. Like, I can understand if you're like, okay, I'm gonna rewrite Naruto, I'm just gonna fucking erase all of that alien invasion bullshit. It's like, okay, yeah, fine, fair enough, you know. Understandable. But, it's just a lot of fucking work for effectively nothing. Wow. Oh. Oh, 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 God. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh god, oh man.
Oh, no.
Oh god, oh man, oh god.
Oh, no, no. Oh, it just keeps going. Oh, my God.
Have you considered stopping?
Why?
Have you
Holy
considered
Lord.
stopping?
What the fuck?
Why?
What did I
Have
just
you
come back
considered
to?
stopping, Sneaky?
Why?
Sneaky, you gotta stop. Stop scrolling. This is the Sneaky. This is the definition of a
Yeah.
doom scroll.
Local man asks why. Continues going.
Yes.
Also, I took a look at that fucking webcomic. It seems really rough. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of those
Like, it's not even,
webcomics. It's one of the webcomics where later on, it gets a lot better in terms of art.
Because right now it just looks like a bunch of scratches.
Yeah, the artist has massively improved over time.
Well, good.
Let's see. Where did Lou post that?
Laundries.
That 100K picture.
Yep.
Yeah. Here's the latest edition of the artist's art style. I also just dropped it in Western, weeb garbage. Yeah. Here's the latest sampling of the artist's art style.
That is, in fact, much better.
That's an
Yeah.
art style.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Little much for my tastes.
This man
but
seems to really enjoy a similar art style to Baki the Grapplers.
It's
Yeah,
not
he
as it's not as muscly as Baki the Grappler.
No, but
It's
it
more like-
feels
it's
like
more
it's
like
wanting
Kengan.
to get there.
It's more like Kengan, honestly.
But
I
yeah,
don't know.
there's a reason why I haven't read it myself. But it's there, it exists. So
It's not my cup of tea.
Why did I just
Definitely
join
not
into so
Berserk.
much Sonic? Because this man wrote 99 Sonic one-shots. That's why. That's why. Collided
Well,
a
clearly someone
Sasuke.
has to.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, so Basil, the Bales, whatever the fuck you call her, the Chaos Rat of Halloween VTubers.
Bay.
Yeah,
What about her?
she wrote Sasuke times Sakura fanfiction in her old days.
Of course she did.
Oh, good. They managed to nail down more than her just being a fanfic writer, huh?
Yeah. And the reason why they were able to do that is because they accused her of writing Sasuke times Naruto, and her being offended was like, no, I wrote Sakura times Sasuke.
And then she realized
Good
2
job,
seconds
chat.
later that she just outed herself.
Yeah. And she's like,
And it
stop
ca-
judging me.
Caught in
Oh.
4K.
Chat judgment increases.
Silly Bay. You should know by now. Chat will always judge you.
Thank you, Gray, for the Chaos Skaven art.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
It was posted yesterday.
Now,
Yeah.
hang on a minute. Hang
Yeah.
on a
Bay
minute.
is now the
Waiting.
Great Horned Rat
That
Ascendant.
the one of her with the Giselle is nonsense. She
Yeah.
can't aim worth a damn.
No, that's why she has the thing to balance. Also, have you seen how accurate Giselles are in Total War?
But okay, it doesn't matter how accurate it is if she can't aim worth a bean.
Well, again, rats don't need to aim. They kill you through volume of fire.
That too.
They kill you through that, and then they don't need to aim because
But
regardless,
the
they're going
Giselle,
to hit
the whole
something.
point of the Giselle is to aim, though.
Yes, you aim in the direction.
Look, see, human. You
I
aim in direction
fucking
and you
kick
attack
you from
thing.
this- Shut the fuck up. Do not give me this shit. Avatar: The Last Airbender needed more MILFs because there's so many in the fandom wouldn't want to fuck psychotic 14-year-old or blind 12-year-old.
Are you having a
they
stroke,
would.
sir?
No, they would. No, unfortunately,
Yeah, I
they
have
would.
bad news for you, sir and or madam.
You know, Kaz, I got some bad
As
news
is
for
a
you.
sir.
The presence of MILFs does not, in fact, reduce pedophilia.
It probably increases it, unfortunately.
Not really, no. It's just, the people that are attracted to small children don't happen to have overlapping tastes with
You did just-
large-breasted mothers.
And
Good night, everybody.
flip it, baby.
Just saying. Just saying.
Go.
Sasuke is a single father who is struggling to take care of his daughter. Sakura has graduated college with a major in medical engineering. Her medical engineering?
I beg your pardon?
Okay, no, medical engineering is a thing. Like,
Is that, Max, is that a thing?
Medical engineering?
Yeah.
Yeah, biomedical engineering, in fact, is a very lucrative field. Like, average starting pay is in the hundreds of thousands.
Well,
Or, sorry, like,
unfortunately,
105.
even just
105
medical
to
engineering,
150.
like,
Yes, it's a thing.
okay, yeah.
Trust me, it's a thing.
I mean, look,
It's a very lucrative field.
all I'm saying is the risks I took were calculated in college, and I was bad at math.
well, to be fair, there were some extenuating factors that you were unable to account for.
I'm also bad at math.
Well, yes.
Yes.
See, that fixed silent protagonist, where what will Anko do? Anko not even a character in the search, it's only Naruto and Hinata?
I don't.
I have several
okay,
questions.
see the fixed silent protagonist, smart, strong, yet loud Naruto. Of course. What happened to the Hyuga? What do you mean, what happened to the Hyuga? new dangerous villains and new heroes. The pairings are still a mystery. Rated
No, they're
M
not.
to be on the safe side. Kami knows what Anko will do.
What does Anko have to do with this?
I
Yeah,
have
what the fuck
several
do we...
problems with this.
Why is this called silent protagonist if it's a loud Naruto?
I think it's supposed to be
Is it
Hinata
ironic?
tag.
Oh, it might be a Hinata.
How far down does the ironic barrel go?
I don't
Not
know.
far enough.
Not far enough. But yeah, so anyway, Sakura graduates with a medical engineering degree. Her and her new boyfriend have been dating for 5 years and she wants to get married. Their separate worlds collide when Sasuke gets employed at the coffee shop. And so Sakura dumps her boyfriend of 5 years and gets married to Sasuke. At the coffee shop.
You're a terrible human being.
I crave the sweet release of
There,
death.
I have multiple problems with this story. First off, author, it's incredibly sexist of you to depict a very real...
Go on, you can say it without fucking laughing. Keep
It's
going.
incredibly sexist of you to depict a very woman moment. Don't you know how bad that makes women look, author?
Good night, everybody.
I wish.
We'll see you
What am
all
I
later.
saying? The author's named Diana. Of course they fucking know they're a woman.
Oh my god.
Oh, Christ. How much do you want to bet that this author is inserting themselves in Sakura's position and is fantasizing about leaving their boyfriend of 5 years for a single father that looks like Sasuke?
There is no
I
bet.
don't want to think about that. Why would you make me think about that? Fuck you.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just break this up with some great news for weebs everywhere.
Oh.
Gundam Info hit a subscriber milestone, so now they're just saying, hey, everybody, you can watch 10 series and a bunch of movies.
Very nice, Lou.
Cool.
So, get your weeb on.
Taking Konoha by storm, Hyuga Hinata had so much potential. Sadly, Kishimoto blessed her with timid personality. I mean,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, she also wasn't a main character. She wasn't even a secondary character. She was like a tertiary character at best. Tertiary, I believe it's called.
Tertiary, yeah.
Yep. Tertiary.
Don't know if Tequila Gundam's in there.
Cause like, she shows up
Tertiary.
how many
You
times
about
in
Tequila
canon?
Gundam?
Twice.
Ray was asking about
3
Tequila Gundam.
times. 4 times.
Well, Gray, if you want to watch G Gundam, it's available right now on Gundam Info. It's subbed. It's not the superior dub, but it's still pretty good.
Oh god, the dub.
I thought we
Oh,
discussed
frick,
as
you
a
on that
community
dub.
not to talk about the dub.
My Dad, the
Oh, we
Boogeyman,
talk
7
about the dub.
chapters completed. I hope
we
to
don't.
God
We
he
talk
just
about the
dropped
dub
it.
because the dub is unironically really beloved.
Interesting.
I need to watch this dub now.
Well, we'll click on that one.
Shall I provide you access to files?
Yes, please.
What should happen should
I
a
can't
person
wait.
from our world with limited knowledge be merged into her body of the future Hakoge's wife? Well, first off, she probably wouldn't end up as the future Hokoge's wife unless she slaps it with Naruto still. Will she stick
Also-
to the plot? Will she crush on Naruto, or will she become a powerhouse rivaling the gods? I don't know, author. Being that this is probably a self-insert Fusion OC story, I'm gonna go with the last one.
I'm gonna go with "You're never gonna get there."
I mean, yeah, that's also a fair response to the question being presented here because You are writing 2,000 words a chapter. Till death do us part. This is an alternative universe. Hinata's life flips on its head from a leaked photo exposing her cheating on her husband. What? Oh.
Okay, we've
Wait,
replaced
Sasuke!
we've replaced the
Fueled by his wife's betrayal and his thirst for revenge, Sasuke seeks comfort in the arms of another.
I have
What?
so many
We've
problems
left
with all
behind-
of this.
We've left behind the edgy cringe. Now we're just entering horny cringe, and I'm not okay with it.
Watch as their marriage spirals out of control.
Where the fuck are your parents? Who the fuck are your parents? It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay?
I haven't heard Nose this upset in a while.
I mean, it's
It's
so
just fucking like
dumb.
this is so.
I think the last time I heard
cringe.
Nose this upset, I was torturing a kobold to death.
It's just, I love it. It's just like this guy's just an AU. So Hinata got exposed for making porn with another man that wasn't her husband. Her husband named Sasuke Uchiha. It's like, what the fuck?
These are all probably.
It's like,
made by
excuse
the
me, but
extremely horny-
when-
Jesus fucking-
Like, what wild ass AU version of Hinata are you putting up to that? On multiple levels.
Yeah.
Don't ask
and,
questions you aren't prepared to hear.
I can only assume that the man she got caught with was Naruto.
You know what? It was Shikamaru. Just bring it out of the left field.
Ones. So yeah, we got silent protagonist here. Yeah. God, I hate that story already. My dad, the boogeyman. Konoha's sewers are funny place. You can find everything down there. Secret organizations, illegal laboratories, a second chance at life, a family, and giant mutant spiders.
Okay, I'm at least intrigued. You know what? You've got me with the summary. I'll grant you that, author. I'm curious as to whether or not we've suddenly stepped into the Warhammer universe, but you do have my attention.
I am sickened, yet curious.
What the actual fuck? Hereafter, Sakura and Sasuke prayed to God that they could be together in the afterlife. Okay. The goddess gave them another chance, and so they were reincarnated as the same person. Sakura being the forlorn orphan child, while Sasuke got everything he ever wanted, his family and a successful life ahead of him. Will this be another tragic, unrequited love story? AU? What do you mean another? If they're praying they can be together in the afterlife, why would it be an unrequited love? Author, what drugs are you fucking smoking and why would they be the same person? I was like, oh, they're two people in one body or some sort of shit, and they find out actually they hate each other or something? No, it's like, no, they all get reincarnated and time gets turned back, and now they're swapping fates. So Sakura's an orphan and Sasuke has his family still?
Question mark?
I'm really fucking confused. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm fucking confused. I mean, even then, their fates wouldn't be different. Sakura wouldn't be like, I gotta chase after the S-class ninja that is my older brother who killed my entire clan, consisting of me, my mother, and my brother. Unless you're saying the Haruna clan is replacing the Uchiha clan or something.
I guess you know what? The only real question I have is how long until someone puts in mods of the Chaos Rat as the entire Skaven faction?
That'd be funny. Why are they confusing Naruto's backstory with Sakura's? Because the author's retarded. That's why. It's very simple, you see, guys.
Simple as.
The author took too many drinkies. No, it looks like that's the whole story. 7 chapters. End of the story. Yeah. Yep. Yup. Alright, so let's read chapter 1. Let's read chapter 1. Wait, hold on, wait, what? The under the who? Whoa, hold up. Holy shit!
What's caught your
What
attention?
did you do?
Naruto Tales of the Ninja Magician. A story of an alternate world where small changes a long time ago in the ninja world make a completely different history with different people, different heroes, and different villains. Meet a young girl that tries to live the life of a ninja with a completely different set of ideals from the cruel world that surrounds her, trying to remain unchanged. A heavy focus on the completely AU cast. Adventure drama. 822 chapters, 3 million words, ongoing for 7 years now.
Nice.
7
Why,
fucking
though?
years.
Only 500
Why
favorites.
have you not written your own story, sir?
Only 500 favorites.
Because it's not good enough.
Well, yes, but also at the same time, it's because it's not a Naruto story. It's like not even a Naruto story where they're using the same characters but in a completely non-Naruto setting. This isn't even a Naruto setting anymore. This is like Naruto doesn't have claim to the idea that ninjas and spirit beasts exist. Like you can't say, "Oh yeah, there's ninjas in my story, so it's a Naruto fan fiction." It's like, no, there's a lot more that makes it a Naruto story than just
There
being
are
ninjas.
several hundred years of fiction that disagree with you.
Yeah, that too. What are some of these 200? Yeah, also only 500 favorites and only 250 reviews. That's like less than 1 review per chapter. No, it's like 1 review every 3 chapters. Also, 3 million. Divided by 822.
Uh-oh, Sneaky's doing math.
Oh, about 3. Yeah, it's about 4K words per chapter. That's not bad.
Or what? What's wrong?
This person's got only 1 review every 3 chapters, and it's the same person. Oh my. Oh, that's brutal. Oh, that's brutal. When you got 1 review basically every 3 chapters, but a majority of your reviews is coming from a single guy.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's
That's unfortunate, sir. I'm very sorry, but I think you need to go get a day job.
How did you write over 700 chapters?
like that is just
Unfortunate.
I can't believe you wrote this much. Yeah, I can't either. All those C's my ass. You're just copying off of other series.
Oof.
Ooh.
Mmm. Yeah. Oh, wow. Another guess. Wasn't this supposed to be no canon characters? You got weird formatting issues in this chapter. I'm enjoying this game of ninja chess. What the fuck is going on in this story?
I don't want to know.
Ninja chess.
What the fuck? Okay, so, weird formatting issues in 586. I mean, I'm still seeing some spelling. I like literally just scrolling through this super fast. I'm already seeing spelling and grammar problems here.
Not that surprising.
I mean, it kind of is. I mean, the dude has literally been writing. Okay, so 7 years. That's how many weeks? 35. He's like basically writing 2 chapters a week for 7 years straight. That's There's a time travel arc. Okay, look. Okay, so Kaz, I
Okay,
can.
once you get into time travel, that just makes the story worse. Let's just all
Yes.
agree on that.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand it though, because like the dude's written nearly 30 books for the series now.
And
Like,
now we have Robot Sneaky.
yeah, is it really that bad? Oh yeah, my connection is absolutely shitting itself right now.
You went Robot
It's
for
doing
a
okay
second
right
there.
now.
You're fine now.
Saying he wrote 30 books for the series. So like the fact that he's only now getting time travel, like 30 books in, it's like, all right, fine, you know what? At that fucking point, you know. Now that is something I want to talk about real quick though. So I was due to me writing a Tanya story, I've been trying to find good Tanya stories so I can read them, so I can get a better idea of what people think when they think about Tanya and how to write Tanya. Because I'm not rereading the light novel of Tanya the Evil, because that is I don't feel like rereading the Chicago School of Economics. I don't know what else.
You're not
to
wrong.
say. I don't feel like rereading that. So,
And on that note, I gotta jet. I gotta scoot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
he's got to go deal with Chicago economics.
I see. Understandable. Have a
Back to
nice
our
Good luck
day.
weather
with
is
that.
insane. Oh my god, our fucking weather. We had warm rain this morning, then it was freezing rain this afternoon, then we're
Yeah.
gonna have nothing, and then tomorrow it's gonna be snowing. It was 50 this morning.
Yeah.
Sounds like a South Texas weather.
Fucking Chicago.
Anyway, so I've been reading a Tanya stories, and I came across one Tanya story. It's a Tanya Don Machi crossover. Post Tanya the Evil arc, effectively. So it's a veteran Tanya. And she ends up in Don Machi, and the author has just done what I consider possibly one of the riskiest maneuvers that you can do in both published fiction and fan fiction. They had the character reset.
Oh dear.
So basically, to those unfamiliar with Don Machi, there's a leveling system in the world canonically. Kill monsters, get experience, you level up your stats, And then you can make those stats like permanent level ups, sort of, by achieving a full level up by doing something really impressive. And so we got decently far into the story. I would put it at around at least a full book, and full book minimum into the story. And the author had Tanya have disagreements with the god that was providing them with this power up, and Tanya is leaving the services of this god now, and this god, when she left, was like, okay, well, even though it's my fault that you're leaving, I'm still going to zero out all of your power-ups. And you'll have to start from 0 again. Even though we just spent the entire book getting her to level 2. Like I said, it's a very risky maneuver. Yeah, Loki Familia. Yeah. No, it's a thing. Or that's a thing.
I don't recall there being a precedent set where God can just say you lose all your XP.
No, that's a canon thing. You being able to reset your stats, as far as I'm aware. Yeah.
No, your stats reset with each level up, but like it's another level. When you go from level 1 to 2, all your stats reset to F,
No,
but
I mean like reset your level, not your stats.
I don't remember ever seeing a thing about levels resetting.
Hmm.
I got pretty far in too.
I could have sworn it was a thing that was a thing, because I know there's a way that gods can expel people from their familias, which would obviously remove the power-ups from the levels from them.
I think that's only if they like do something really egregious.
Well, it is, but it's not a requirement. Like, the god can just do that any time, but it's a matter of, like, people then not wanting to be under that god, if that god will just, like, oh, I don't like you anymore, zap, all your power is gone.
Zibbity zap, your power is mine.
I mean, I've seen multiple stories, like, pretty high-quality stories, too, for Danmachi, use that whole level reset thing.
Yeah, but that could just be a fanon thing.
That's fair.
Like, because let's not forget, Sneaky, there have been plenty of times you're like, oh, this thing in Naruto, and I have to remind you, no, that was a fanon thing because that never actually happened in the manga or the show.
There's a long list of things that are purely fanon for Naruto. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I'm finding for resets is when the stats reset on a level up. Here's the thing, I could believe that maybe if not the gods, there's something where it's like, oh yeah, there's a forbidden potion that will reset your levels all the way back to 0. Like it's I could see that being a punishment as a thing, but considering how many rogue like mid-rank adventurers there are, I don't know if that's actually a thing. Because there are rogues that are like, oh, that's a level 2 rogue. That's a problem.
Fair. That's fair. I mean, like, I don't know. I think it's just, yeah. I think the reason why I believed it was canon then was because it's just sensible. If the god can give someone a blessing, I don't see any reason why the god couldn't take away a blessing.
Oh, sure, it makes sense. But at the same time, I can't see any of the gods doing that because that would, in a way, interfere with their little game.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Like, here's the thing, I could see it being like, could they do this at any time? Sure. Would they? No, not really, because it would be kind of, cheating in a way.
I mean, maybe if like the person, as I said, committed some sort of crime, and then we're like, oh, okay, well, you committed some big ass crime, and as punishment, zip zoop.
I know that they
Um,
can seal the Falna, but that's so that other people can't see it.
yeah.
Yeah, actually, I feel like taking the experience away would require them to tap into their god powers, and that would just send them back up to heaven.
No, I don't think so. Again, like I said, it's like thinking about it logically. If they can, use their blood to update someone's status and give them god powers, I don't see a reason why they couldn't use their blood to take away the god powers.
Well, the blood's a blessing. You already gave that to them. Taking it away, you can't just take your blood out like that, I don't think.
If the god were to cut the connection, the Adventure would lose the Fallen power. Well, the Fallen power is their stats, so.
Yeah, well, we also know that even if the god cuts the connection, the stats remain until they join another familia.
Oh, do we know that? Do we have canon examples of that?
Yeah, Beat.
Oh, fair enough.
Beat
Okay.
was in his first familia was killed along with his god,
Mhm.
and he had started another one, but he got to keep his stats. He just didn't
Mhm.
have them while the blessing was cut.
Okay, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. Okay, yeah, fair enough then.
Yeah.
But still, the author went forward with that, and they explained it pretty logically. And
I mean, yeah,
it's
if they
still just
explain it logically, it's fine.
yeah, it's still a very risky move just as a narrative basis in fan fiction and especially published fiction, because with fan fiction people do sort of go into it with the whole idea of this is, amateur authors effectively, and they're going to do things that, aren't fantastic, and so when an author does something that isn't fantastic and it makes the story that you've been reading not good anymore, most people's reaction to a bad fan fiction is, oh well, okay, and then they stop reading it and they move on.
Well, like
Published fiction is a little bit different because you are in fact buying those books. Typically, you are paying money to be entertained. Why people were quite vocal about the quality of the third and fourth Aragon books in the Inheritance cycle.
yeah, it is the argument here about like sort of wasting people's times by resetting things.
It sort of is, because effectively, you've watched this character gain power, make progress, and whatnot, and you've invested your time in watching them do this, and
Yeah.
then,
Well,
then they restart.
yeah. Yeah, well, you and I've had these conversations. Certain game companies like to do that to you. They like
Yeah.
to build the player up, and then 60 hours later, by the way, everything you did was for nothing.
Yeah.
That's the See, I'd argue it's a lot worse in video games because you had time. You've had longer than 3 hours
It's
to get to know a character.
well, not only that, it's
Hey,
also
you know
in
all that
video
shit you
games.
did
It's
to like
personal input.
level
It's
up
a
your
little bit different.
character? The fuck you. You don't get any of that.
Yeah, it's a little bit different with video games because it's personal input. But I know one story of Naruto that did the Naruto gamer thing that actually had Naruto die and have to restart, and it died like almost immediately after that because
No one was ready for New Game Plus, obviously.
well, no, first off, it wasn't New Game Plus because he failed. But the audience wasn't super happy with it because that basically, like, not only like with this Tanya example story, all of the progress that she's made outside of her stats is still existing there. Like, she still has all of her contacts, she still has all her deals, she still has, all of the connections that she's made. But in the Naruto story, he literally dies and has to restart from basically since the beginning of the Naruto story again. Nobody knows him. All of his relationships are reset. All of that's reset. He's starting from ground zero again. And so everyone was kind of just like, so what's the point of reading the first 60 chapters of this story?
Yeah.
Because
That's
it's not even like in a roguelike where when you die, you get some sort of like carryover sometimes in roguelikes where it's like, oh, you made it this far, so you get like this little bonus thing so you can make it even farther next time. Because at least roguelikes that do that sort of thing are like, okay, well, there's a reason as to why you fail and keep trying, because you actually get something out of it. But no, in this story, it was straight up just like, okay, well, he died and everything got reset, and he has to start from ground zero again. It's like, okay, so why would I even bother reading the first 60 chapters of this story again? Like, what's the point of someone new coming in and reading up to chapter 60? There's no point, because none of that matters. Literally none of it matters. So, it's a very risky maneuver for authors. It's why you don't really see it in published stories, like, at all. Because it's just a completely pointless risk to zero out a character's power leveling. And it doesn't, like, even if it's a story where there's no power scaling really going on in it, if the character just loses everything, and everyone gets, fucking, it's a coffee shop story. Fuck it. It's a coffee shop story, and then, like, halfway through the story, fucking terrorists come in and shoot everyone that he knows and kill his whole family and blow up his coffee shop and then rob the bank that all of his money was stored at and then burn it down so there's no record of him having money. And so now he's poor and doesn't have any money and none of that exists, and he's just kind of like, okay, well, I guess I'll start a new coffee shop. It's like, what? That's it? They're just gonna restart it all then? Okay.
Just given like 6 calls to adventure and ignored all of them.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah, it's just like the whole restart concept isn't a great seller in narrative because it kind of betrays the reader. This fucking story we're reading again? Oh yeah, this cringe ass shit. Let's see, are they any better at chapter, like, how bad were they at chapter 1? Oh. Ah. Ah.
Oh.
I see. Walls of text. Interesting.
At least it isn't the Great Wall.
Yeah, it's not a great wall, but it is just kind of blocks and bricks of text. Definitely building a wall there with it. I'm not really sure how I even feel about this story, because it doesn't start off, dozens of years in the past. It starts off in the modern times of the village, even though the modern times of the village would be radically different if it's going to be an all OC cast. And you have shit of people saying like, oh yeah, that's the Konoha sorceress. I'm a mage instead of a ninja. Like, if you're gonna really sit here and tell me that shit's that fucking different, I don't know, man. Kinda cringe.
Only kinda cringe.
Yeah. It's just a lot of time to spend on a story that really could have spent on something else.
True.
Rake escalates.
Yeah. Canada being Canada. Big shock.
Yep.
So anyway, this Boogeyman story, the 7 chapters finished in 25k word story. Most Jonin had at least one experience where they did not expect to wake up again, but somehow did. Sunk cost fallacy. Yeah, honestly, sunk cost fallacy does play into both that story and just my talk about the whole narrative time reset thing. And it is not so much a fallacy when applied to the narrative reset, because it is a sunk cost. No, like that's not a fallacy. There is a sunk cost occurring when you, as both the writer and the reader, come upon a narrative in which the writer tries to do a whole time reset thing. Also, just including time travel in your story generally doesn't work out great. You know, as Gray and I had to square that circle in our Undying Scarab story.
Anyone who's ever seen an anime plot knows that's also a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's just
think I need
really
to-
annoying because, like, in WoW, there's an entire race of time traveling dragons who
Yes.
know what the quote unquote true prime timeline is, and so they try and protect it. Like, I just, it's really hard to understand how time travel in WoW works because apparently, they went with the whole infinite possibilities angle, but also at the same time, there's only one true timeline. And then they're like, oh yeah, even though it's like infinite possibilities, bronze dragons don't like exist in the other realities. Because only the
It's
prime,
an entire thing.
yeah, like only the prime timeline bronze dragons exist or something, or like it doesn't make any fucking sense. Because if there's other timelines, then the bronze dragons would exist in those too, and there would technically be infinite bronze dragons that are technically capable of crossing any timeline.
They basically went with there's one for every single timeline, and there's only that one for each one,
Yeah,
which doesn't make sense.
makes no fucking sense at all because we've interacted with multiple bronze dragons that are invested in the prime timeline, which wouldn't make sense at all if there was only one. It's so fucking confusing, and the
And
way
then there's
they
fucking Chromie.
yeah, and then there's Chromie, and like they try to square that circle in the game for some reason after introducing them instead of not introducing them. They introduce them and they go, oh shit, man, oh man, oh. We put time travel in an MMO. Oh,
What
man.
do we do?
Let's have the time travel actually just be making sure all of the canon events occur. So all of canon is now canonically made canon by a bunch of time traveling drakes huffing desert sand.
I'd make a Warpstone joke, and I'm pretty sure GW would send me a cease and desist.
I think they
possible.
would just nuke the podcast.
Yeah, they would just sue me. So yeah, so we had to square that circle since, again, these dragons apparently go back in time to make sure that the events that happen in the past happen exactly as they should happen because they happened in the past that way, but they only happened in the past that way because they happened in the past that way. So they have to go back in time to make sure that it still happens like that. Yeah, I'm about as confused as you are. And so with Taylor generally making an absolute fuck of the entire timeline of Wrath of the Lich King, we had to square the circle of what does time-traveling dragons do to her.
That was the entire fucking thing.
Yeah, so we handled it in the best way possible. A giant war. So what you're telling me is that junkies who OD and see the future is canon of the world? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. It gets even better because the giant space squids, they see every future, which is apparently different from the bronze dragons.
You see the one future in every possibility.
Yeah, don't ask how that works.
I don't feel like I should.
Yeah, they
And then
apparently.
there's the fucking infinites.
Yeah, then there's the infinites. Yeah, who existed past the prime timeline and then went back into the past to make the prime timeline not happen. But by
And also the
doing that, the
future.
prime timeline always was going to happen. But the bronze dragons go back into the past to make sure the prime timeline happens because it wasn't going to happen until they went back into the past to make sure the future happened. But the future bronze dragons go back into the past to make sure it doesn't happen because it will.
It's an entire convoluted fucking mess, and WoW should have never put them in.
It was a mistake. Yeah, it was a mistake. And then you have the Void, and the Void's just over there, like, we see every timeline, every possibility, every single thing that could possibly theoretically happen, we know it. We just don't know what will happen. So we have 1,000 answers to one question, effectively, is what the Void has. Which doesn't make any sense, because if the Bronze Dragons are right about this whole prime timeline purity nonsense, then the Void would know that, because they have the answers to every question.
Yeah.
All I'm taking is that reptiles are on cheap space drugs and space squids are on the deluxe shit. Oh, they are definitely on the deluxe shit. They are definitely huffing that pure Ethereum gas.
We need more Vespine gas.
They're definitely huffing that Vespine gas. God, I fucking hate it so much. I don't know why Blizzard put it in, and then this is what makes the most recent plot of the WoW expansion even worse. Is somehow, despite not having time traveling dragons, despite facing off against someone who knows about every future, somehow, some dude who is chained away into his own personal hell dimension has planned for all of that and has somehow planned around the time-traveling dragons being able to time travel to fuck up the plans that successfully occurred, but he's planned around that somehow to access the console commands for reality.
The more you think about it, the more it doesn't make sense.
I wish I was fucking joking, but that's straight up the plot of the most recent expansion.
I'm not doubting you. I hate it.
Painful.
Dude,
All I
it's
know
just
is
Blizzard's Light Yagami and WoW fiction coming to life. Yeah, sure. Maybe.
He would be a better villain.
He would be, yeah.
At least then the plans would make sense.
Well, see, like the why the Void was such a great villain was because even if they knew every future and they didn't know exactly which future was going to occur, so they could make a shit ton of plans about, like, okay, so, well, if this future is more likely to occur, we'll make a plan to circumvent this one, and we'll nudge those two off to make sure they're basically not going to happen. And so basically you have to fight someone who work against someone like that, but because, like, they don't know what's going to actually happen, because they just know they could win or they could lose, and they know every way they could lose, and they know every way they could win, but they don't know which of those is going to happen until it does, you can still win against them. And you can feel really good about yourself for winning against them, because that's cool. It's like, oh yeah, I just fucking beat a guy who saw every way he could win, and I still won.
I mean, they probably did think that up, but then someone at the office got more cocaine.
And then the best part is, is then you have
Implies
to then the best part is of the whole fighting void thing is that you can then branch off from that going, did I only win though
because they
because they
wanted me.
wanted me to win? Because them losing in this exact fashion actually made them win in the future.
Oh, hey, look at that. It's a GW cease and desist.
So quickly.
Ah, that was fast.
Shishui had not expected to open his eyes. Repetition Shishui found did not make the experience any less disorienting, particularly since there was no logical explanation for how he survived this time. He ensured it himself, entrusting Itachi with everything important, and plunging into the river to his death. How long had it been since then? The last thing he remembered was hitting the waters of Naka River. He was also having a vague memory of arguing with fish women. Shishui hoped that was a hallucination. His life was very weird enough as it was. Had Itachi resolved things yet, or had the coup gone ahead? Or were there things still in uneasy truce as he had left it? So basically Gilgamesh from Fate, who also sees every way he could lose and just ignores it if the person he's going to face isn't certain it would work. Yeah. Only way to beat Gil is to just fight him like a hero against the King of Heroes. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's a 7-chapter, 25k word fic that's supposedly completed, and so far it's kind of getting...
Dry.
Yeah, it's a little bit dry, despite him waking up in a river. So yeah, blah 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 blah, wet, blah 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 blah, uninjured. Opened his eyes, he realized he did have eyes, but they didn't have Sharingans. Oversized tooth next to him, and he was in a sewer. Blah blah. River, high banks, too crumbly to scale. Sewers, blah blah blah. Maintenance paths, blah blah blah. Pile of scum, blah blah blah. Ration bars, flavorless. Donzo and his agents. Blah blah. Donzo's root was growing. Mass shinobi dancing through the sewers. Shisui wondered how he stayed hidden. Four older children passed Shisui without noticing him, all chasing a smaller boy. All the children reflexively spun his direction. His voice was hoarse, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's the boogeyman!" And they all ran away. And then the kid who was being bullied was like, "Oh yeah, hey man, you all right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I could use some water." He's like, "Oh okay, you come with me. I got water." And he's like, "Are you sure you want to invite a random person called the boogeyman into your house?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's cool, man. I'm Naruto." All right. And then the Naruto was not 100%. The boogeyman didn't exist, but he couldn't be sure, so he gave the sewer monster a glass of water, and the sewer monster thanked him for the water. And his voice, unfortunately, however, stayed hoarse and cracky. "Hey, sewer monster, what kind of monster are you?" "I am the spirit of a shinobi who was wronged prior to his death. I have been returned to the land of living to set things right." That sounded noble and heroic. Then he frowned. "Wait, so you're a ghost?" "I'm actually a vengeful spirit." A vengeful what?" "Yeah, it's a fancy word for boogeyman." "Oh, okay. So you're a boogeyman. What you gonna do now?" "Well, I'm tired, so I'm gonna go sleep." "Boogeymen get tired?" "Oh yeah, being all revenge-filled is exhausting." "Oh, okay. So you can sleep here tonight then." So he did. I wish I was abbreviating this, but I'm not. This is literally, I'm just reading it word for word.
No, you're not reading it word for word, but continue on.
Okay, I'm not reading it word for word, but I'm basically reading it word for word.
The term we use is
There's a few
paraphrasing,
things
Steve.
I'm gonna fact check you, Max, and I'm gonna list you as mostly false.
Well, that's it. My career's over. You got me.
Yep.
Caught in 4K.
He left after breakfast. Naruto didn't expect to ever see him again, but 2 evenings later, he came back anyway. His hair was now neatly trimmed and his roan was sewn shut, but he had a fresh cut on his face. The boogeyman refused to answer questions about it. Instead, he asked Naruto about chakra. Naruto said no. He tried to explain it. Naruto only caught half of it. Then he explained how it could be used, and then suddenly Naruto was interested. Next time meant tomorrow, and blah blah blah. Few months, routine visits, blah blah blah. He led Naruto to the sewers, told him to memorize the routes in the sewers. They exited the sewers, crossed 2 streets, and then went back down. Boogeyman told him to put his feet exactly where he did or risk springing a trap. Naruto did that, but still almost set off traps several times. Boogeyman congratulated him on several triggers. Blah blah blah. Made it through the path of death. Blah blah blah. Doors. Blah blah blah. Once inside, Boogeyman introduced himself as Shisui. He followed that with instructions to never call him that outside of his own personal hideout. There's enemies hidden inside the village. Naruto was welcome in the hideout anytime. 1 year later, Naruto started calling Shisui Dad. Blah blah blah. Shisui started teaching him all the stuff for the various different ninja skills. Also taught him Fuinjutsu. Blah blah blah. Tragedy struck. Everything Shisui tried to stop came to a head. Uchiha clan was wiped out. Then Naruto did a prank on Mizuki Sensei. Purple paint. Blah blah blah. Bad Naruto, don't mess with your teachers. Naruto managed to scrawl lazy ass across the Naruto's forehead before he woke up. Photo of the Naruto's confused doodle on face got a chuckle. Naruto managed to badger his dad out of bed, reminding him of all the things he could do for the village. That broke him out of depression. This all reminded Naruto that it was very fun pranking people, and so he started using all those ninja skills to start pranking everyone. And then 4 years passed without calamity, save for one incident. When Naruto was 10, Shisui managed to demonstrate for him a situation in which the Grand Fireball Jutsu was useful for more than just diversion. Consequently, a large number of supposedly non-existent shinobi found themselves short one seal, as a large pile of scum became a large pile of ash. Oh. Okay, so I guess Shisui just casually killed Danzo off screen.
Apparently.
Apparently.
I'm not sure how likely that would be.
Apparently using only the Grand Fireball Jutsu. Don't know how that works.
Yes, the stealthiest of all Uchiha Jutsus. Of course, that's how we
Giant
got him.
fucking fireball, yeah. I mean, hey man, at least it's not intelligent hard work.
Just remember, Sneaky, your personal motto has always been if there are no more witnesses, it's still a stealth mission.
Right, intelligent hard work is a perfectly stealthy jutsu then.
I see nothing wrong here.
No, he killed Danzo, because it specifically says here that a lot of ninjas suddenly found themselves short one seal, which means Danzo's dead.
Yeah, well, he also said pile of scum became a pile of ash.
Yeah.
So, in this case, I'm really hoping 2 + 2 = 4.
Then their Anbu managed to track down all the root ninja before anything could happen from there on out. Shisui was happy to at least one of his Sharingans back. Yeah, so he killed Danzo. And yes, he probably removed the eye from Danzo before incinerating the dude with the fireball.
Very good.
I don't know, man.
Because Danzo can be dead, and then you can remove the eye from Danzo, and then you can burn him to ash. I mean, it's a very uncomplicated process.
Honestly, for all we know, the only way to destroy a Sharingan is to, like, actively crush it. It might actually be fireproof for all we know.
With Izanami, I mean, hey man, he
It's
could
so
have assassinated Danzo. Danzo might have been, he slipped on some soap or something and cracked his neck in the shower.
Okay, just a reminder though, like, eyes are weird in the Naruto-verse. People just plug and play those things all the time.
No, Kaz is bringing up a good point about how exactly did he kill Danzo without Danzo using Shisui's eye to reset his death. And my point is that Danzo could have just died of natural causes like COVID. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could you reset if you had a heart attack and you had the Sharingan, you're like, oh god, my heart, and then you you didn't reset, but then you're still having the heart attack, because technically, it's like it doesn't cure your heart, as far as I'm aware. So your heart's still in the same condition that it made it have the heart attack in.
Well, the rewind time still requires the active use of a Sharingan being sacrificed.
That's my point.
So, well, it's also entirely possible that his body wasn't used to the chakra needed for the Sharingan yet.
I mean,
think wasn't that a plot point mentioned by him? Like, it took me years to attune to this or something?
I mean, yeah, I don't know, man.
Like-
Orochimaru invades on back page of papers, headline, third Hokage victim of COVID, found throat slit. Yes.
Like, I feel like that was an important plot point for a couple characters. Like, oh yeah, you can just pop a Sharingan in a non-Uchiha.
Yeah,
They won't be able to use it effectively for
I mean,
a
it's also
while, but they
always
can
on.
have it.
That's
Yeah.
the other problem. It's always on, which apparently covering it up makes the chakra cost manageable.
Based on the way Kakashi acted, yeah.
If only he just killed Sauce Man, a lot of headaches would have been cleared up. Yeah, I know, right? But still, point being is that Danzo is I mean, there's several excuses you can give for why Shisui was able to assassinate Danzo. Also, again, the whole reset thing using the Sharingan as a catalyst, it just heals your body as far as I'm aware to before whatever killed you. But if you die of a heart attack or some shit, that wouldn't get healed. Cause it's not a sword or something that's cutting your heart open. It's just your heart dying. Maybe a stroke or something. Actually, you know what? That's actually one way to kill Danzo is you just cut off his arm seal and just make him feel the full drain of all those implanted Sharingans, and then he'll probably just die of chakra loss.
Or you can just cut off his head.
They tried that. Izanami or whatever can reset that because it's a violent death.
Unfortunate.
What
But,
the fuck did Andros give us?
Who did what now? Oh, okay, yep, you know what? Yeah, we'll read it, sure. Fuck it. So, anyway, Naruto pranks a bunch of people. Naruto got trained in advanced techniques by Shisui. Fucking wall of text, blah blah blah. Okay, you all passed, Sakura cheered. Oh, Kakashi's saying this. This is one of those things I absolutely hate, and I don't know where this started, and I don't know if this is because of different areas teaching English differently or something. But it's Kakashi does an action in the previous paragraph, and then the next paragraph is Kakashi's dialogue, but followed by an action from someone else. And so my brain just reads that as the person who said the thing did the action.
I'm gonna blame the public education system for that initial issue, and then fanfiction.net for spreading it so prolifically.
Yeah, because it just always trips me up with these people that write it, because it's just Wait, hold on. Who's talking right now? You have someone talking and doing an action here, but that's not the sort of dialogue they would say. The other lines of dialogue is what they would say. So then the other person is doing these actions, but this person is saying that dialogue. It's like, I shouldn't have to play a puzzle game to figure out who's talking. Okay, you all passed. Now which one of you is the real Naruto? 4 Narutos looked at each other and they all dissolved in the mud. The 5th Naruto had done no attacking, threw an orange book towards its owner and puffed in smoke. After a brief shocked silence, a nearby tree rustled and an orange ninja dropped down. That's me. Wait, you were in the tree the whole time. Where'd you learn mud and shadow clones? My dad taught me. Your dad? Yeah, my dad. He's a boogeyman who lives in the sewers. Okay, meet me at 7. Wanna go for ramen? Everyone's like, yeah, sure, okay. And so they all went and ate ramen. That's,
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest.
yeah.
It's a little disappointing that he didn't go with the idea of, for one, teaching Naruto sealing jutsu instead of the flash step, the flicker thing, because that's what Shisui was known for. He mastered that. I don't know why he's teaching Naruto sealing jutsu and advanced clone techniques. Like he, yes, thank you, Kaz. The Shunshin. He was a master of one of the most basic of fundamentals. Why is he teaching Naruto advanced shit?
I don't know, man. I just...
Beats the fuck out of me, my man.
Like, it's just we didn't know very many particularly advanced jutsus from what little we see of him. His thing was, I'm really good at this one thing, and I've mastered it beyond reason. Without needing to use a Sharingan for it either.
Yeah.
Which made it all the more horrifying. Like, he's already a problem without the Sharingan being active, moving at near light speed.
Yeah.
So, imagine how much worse it is when he decides to turn it on. Oh no.
So yeah, that's
Was a
a
waste.
it's a funny crack story, guys. Haha, funny humor family crack story. Woohoo! Wowee! It's so funny. Yahoo!
You know, I think I would have preferred this story more if they'd gone with the idea of teaching Naruto the Sunshin and getting good with it. It's like, oh look, Naruto's the second coming of the Yellow Flash. But with a different jutsu.
I am alright, first off, I'm stealing that meme. Second off, I am not sure how to respond to this story, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this story summary out loud.
Which
Sorry,
meme
what
are you
meme?
stealing?
What meme are you stealing?
I don't know what the fuck I'm reading. This one. High quality.
Oh yes.
That one.
I've seen that scene. That does not end well for him.
There is some racist things further in. It is against the Chinese.
Alright, then I
Oh, in
approve.
this story here?
So we have
What
a
the-
Rising of the Shield Hero story called The Schizophrenia of the Redneck Sword Hero.
This is already going to be a spicy one, I can tell.
Yeah. Meet your boy
is.
Jim. He shall bring the word of God and raise some raccoons.
That is actually what it means.
Yes, I'm aware.
We got some spicy ones today,
I live in the
boys.
South.
Yes.
Huh, where am I? Why am I here? I looked around to see 3 other guys, all with various weapons in their hands. Around us were men in white robes cheer on what I could guess was a grand success. Welcome to our world, heroes. We are in great peril. Ugh, why does my head hurt so much? What's my name again? What was I doing a moment ago? What's this thing I'm holding? It's a weapon. What's it called? That's not a talwar, it's an odachi, the physical manifestation of fear in the form of a stick. Okay, Shad. You need to calm the fuck down. Shillelagh, our penis, the mighty Mjolnir. The fuck forgot what my dick is. Ugh, what's the thing in my pants? Was it called a sword or something? Didn't someone call it the stick of thrashing? Oh, it's called the penis, that's what it's called. And then what the fuck is the thing in my hand? It's a keyboard, sword, shillelagh, keyblade. Oh yeah, that's right, it's a sword. Why do I have a sword? Why did I just hear Great Grandpa's voice?
This is painful to read.
Yeah,
I'm jumping
too.
ahead. This hurts.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is already pretty cringe. It's pretty big cringe.
Yes.
Yeah, this is bad. Can we
Just
move on?
Just imagine telling your teacher that you were taught advanced mathematics by the sewer hobo. Fair?
Sewer hobo, what is your wisdom? Mathematics.
Yeah, this story is something else.
It is an
Spear,
intro
bow,
sign.
shield, now money, blah blah blah, heroes, weapons, Melomark, blah blah blah, Melomark, King Melomark, blah blah blah, Melomark. Crowd started moving forward, weight of my PC shifting from side to side. Oh yeah, that's right, I was returning from a LAN party. Wait. You carrying your PC in your backpack or something? Nobleman, throne, king, everyone bowed to him, legendary heroes, blah blah blah, names. Sorry guys, my head hurts. Yeah, some gibberish, average lifespan. By using our mad hacking skills to use the incest off command by, wait, what the fuck?
The fuck
Small
am I
army
reading?
of raccoon girls will have horde infantry.
It is complete and utter nonsense.
What?
I
even
suggest that
come
I
from?
suggest this author take his meds.
It feels like I'm reading a B thread that was then copied and pasted into a Word document and posted to Fanfiction.
That actually might be what it is.
Why would we use them as infantry when we can have sex with them all? Sure, why not? As long as we regularly reward our raccoon girls with sex, they'll clearly remain loyal. Because we're the sword hero doesn't mean it's our most effective weapon. Yeah, raccoon girl battle harem, let's go. Raccoon
Yeah,
girl
this is definitely a
orgies.
B. This is definitely a B thread.
Why am I thinking this? I would never touch Daniel like that. What? Wait.
It is very much an Andros thing that was found.
I'm a good Christian. In the name of the Lord, why am I having these thoughts? Great grandfather was a promiscuous one. Have I ever met great grandpa Jim? I'm Jim Boris Jr. of the Southern Carolina Baptist Church, and I breed raccoons as a hobby. In the name of the good Lord, it's nice to meet you. Everyone looked at me like I was insane, but they always say, look at old Boris and his raccoons. Man, I hope Sally will do fine with this king fellow.
Beg
For
your
the
pardon?
moment, some Chinese-looking fellow introduced himself called Nano Fuck Me.
I have several questions.
Alright, fair enough.
They went fully into it.
Alright,
Well-
fair enough. Now that I think about it, 2 out of the 4 of us are Chinese. The last guy has a funny sounding name, so he might be Chinese too. Thank you, boy. It's been a week since the waves of calamity, blah blah blah, forge a party, fight against the waves. I could hear someone pipe up about why we couldn't fight together, but then I looked into the thing that popped up in front of me. Something about blah blah blah, XP, weird words, RuneScape, forge parties on your own. Stay here. I like to go find Janny if I can. More schizophrenia.
He just say he'd like to find Janny.
Yeah, just don't schizophrenia. Just okay. Asians agree with me. Happy seeing me shoot them for being Japs. Very cool. A VR MMO. Kids always play these days. Yeah, those. Blah blah. Shit myself in the shitter. Damn, that thing was nice. The boys never played Call of Duty or RuneScape. What sissies. Then he talks to his voices, which again I can only assume is a B thread.
Someone's playing Everyone is Jim or something. Or Everyone is John, I think is the name of the setting? I don't fucking remember.
Then he decides to go make some moonshine and a double-barreled shotgun.
Aha. He just jumps to that, huh?
He does have a point though about making the moonshine.
Yeah, he does have a point. No one will get on his ass about it.
It'd probably sell really well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Even without the name of the whole sword hero thing, just alcohol in general sells pretty well. Strong alcohol even more. Do you want moonshine equipment? Alchemists, okay. Armor. Distillery sword.
A sword that's a distillery. Excellent.
The mortar and pestle sword. The test tube sword. All swords now fused. Unlocked the apothecary sword. I messed with it for a moment and turned on to all my tools. Cool. And with that, we headed out, and I got other shit. The animal capturing sword, the wood sword, and I fed my Bible to it, and now I have the Christ sword.
Oh
God.
Does it have the words Cairo on it? Because if it doesn't have the words Cairo on it, it's not a Christ sword.
Then he unlocks a wood sword and the traveler's sword. This sword's super awesome. Turns into hammers and saws. Using it, I unlocked a skill called Auto Carpenter, which means I can just let my sword make stuff for me, and so now I have a new wagon. And then I jammed the wagon into my sword, and now I have a backpack sword.
Okay, but why though? Why would you need a sword that is a backpack? Seems just kind of redundant.
I tried to make Christian throwing stars, but it felt like the time I touched Uncle Charlie's electric fence. You have violated the Janor Convention. You cannot equip anything but the legendary sword. I will punch you from robbing me of the Christian throwing stars. You go against the word of Christ, you sword.
Yeah, this is literally just a fucking B thread. This is literally
This
just
is-
a bunch of anons getting put in someone's head and just going, let's just do the weirdest shit we can do in this new isekai. And there's like some K dude just going like, build the Christian throwing stars.
Some shit about Trump is being thrown in here.
Ah, yes.
Yes, the steroid sword. Testosterone.
The who and the what now?
The shitty meth sword.
Oh,
The
Sneaky, those
minor.
aren't swords. Those are recipes.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, you fair enough.
Oh,
I
boy.
I just assumed it was a sword at this point with how this author handles everything.
Everything is a sword. Even the sword is a sword. It fires swords.
High quality moonshine, cool. Berserker potions, poisons, shitty meth. Yeah, just casually cook up some fucking meth, sell it in the medieval era. Alright, fair enough. Market it to every king. This will keep your soldiers awake for days, man.
It would wake for
Improves
days,
combat
man.
performance. Then they found a slave tent, and he was like, "Oh, hey, that's cool. This guy sells stuff. Maybe I can find a raccoon here and start up my raccoon army."
I just noticed the word count compared to the chapter count.
Yeah,
92k to 6 chapters.
yeah,
I beg your pardon.
That explains the scroll bar.
yeah.
Yes, it does.
Okay, we have 5 minutes till 9 o'clock. Can we
This
just
Yeah,
is
like
a
don't-
lot of effort for a poorly written shitpost.
I swear, Max, this is a copy paste from a B thread. This is not a shit post that was written by one man.
this has
There's
been
no possible
I
way. that
refuse
this
to
was-
believe that a single individual could be this fucking autistic.
The only way we would know for certain is if Andros went and looked.
Dude,
Yeah, I'm not going there. Who wants to go? Not it.
no, I'm not
Andros,
going.
I volunteer him as tribute.
Yeah, I volunteer Andros.
Volunteer him as
Andros, you have to
tribute.
go to B and you have to demand accountability. Let's see.
He needs to get some
I want
answers.
your raccoon girls. All right, I got a raccoon girl right here. Don't you have any more? Nope. Apparently the giant birds like eating them. Okay. All right. Well, we got a raccoon girl. We should fuck it. No, we shouldn't. It's a child. This is some conversation. This is some B tier conversation. I feel like I'm reading a 4chan thread every single time this guy goes into the schizophrenia.
That's because we are.
Go. Oh,
It just keeps going. Yeah, like I said, I feel like I'm reading a 4chan thread. I'll take the slave, but I'll try your gambling game. Pick one. Pick this one. Very interesting. Hope it grows up. Enslavement. This is an enslavement Slav. Wait, enslavement Slav. Wait, is he gonna squat at you?
You gotta squat at him. Fucking God damn it, Sneaky.
Chicken Ricky!
Get out of here, stock!
Oh no, he's squatting at you. I can feel my will crumbling. I'm being enslaved.
Good God, this story.
This is... we can't even call this an excellent shitpost because it's literally just a fucking B thread. Damn you,
Hopefully it
author.
is.
Okay, you know.
Damn you, author. You have robbed us of an excellent shitpost
So
by making
anyway,
a shitpost.
Cheeky Breaky. The author actually put it in.
Of course they actually wrote it.
Yeah.
They're only fake, oh boy.
I'm not wild. Oh wow, this schizophrenia stuff. I'm not reading it. I'm not reading it out loud.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Some of this stuff is Whoo!
Spicy take.
Yeah, it's got some words in here.
We had Arn level, or we passed Arn level.
So alchemy sword unlocked. It's going funky now. Ability unlocked. Summon potion sword. Summon demon trainer. Called forth that poison. It stole it from my pouch. Certainly fucked the badgers I was killing though. Other news: Dolly is growing nicely. She's now bigger. Hallucinogen, shitty math. Raised the shitty math with minor speed potion. Got 1,000 silver for selling off my moonshine. Yeah, the title didn't lie, gentlemen. The title did not lie. I'm gonna send that to my little brother.
I'm glad something came out of it.
Boy, you're really just introducing to a lot of cursed content lately,
Yeah, I'm
aren't you?
just gonna toss that
This
run right
entire
at him.
Max, this entire stream has been mega cursed by the most cringe garbage we have ever seen. It's not even edgy. We can't laugh at edge. We can laugh at edge. We cannot laugh at cringe.
Yeah, he does have a point. Like, this
worst.
is just some pure cringe shit. Like, at least we're able to, like, cringe and be horrified by that one Naruto story. The multiple Naruto stories that we found that were just, like, filled with rape and child sexual assault and shit. We could just be like, what the fuck, bro? And then we can all laugh about it later. Because Naruto worked out, so he was at least had the body of a 5-year-old, so it's okay that he has sex.
I honestly
yeah,
forgot
one.
about that until just now. I was gonna say there is shit you can laugh at that's cringe, and you can say whatever, but there's just some stuff that is just cringeworthy for the sake
Only
of being cringe.
It's distilled cringe, and you're just like, what the fuck am I reading?
Yeah.
I can't really laugh at the schizophrenia story because it's just like, what the fuck? I don't.
Welcome
Like,
to. Oh no! It's a quest thread.
What?
It was a quest thread.
Oh,
No wonder.
That explains so much. That explains so much.
Good man.
What is a quest thread?
So
Well,
For those
Yes.
uninitiated?
So quests. Let me get into it. So Gray knows all about my hatred for quests. So quests are possibly, bar none, one of the most infuriating things to come across.
Mm-hmm.
So quests are threads written on websites like Space Battles, Sufficient Velocity, and etc., in which the author produces a low word count chapter and then prompts the user base to give them what's going to happen in next chapter. And this can be anywhere from between several options that the author pre-makes, or he can do write-in options, and he just picks whatever write-in option is the most popular / funny to him.
Now imagine that power being given to 4chan.
Now
What that story was.
Now imagine if possibly the author isn't very good at writing, so they do a quest thread because they don't really know where to take the story. So they're just like, oh, well, I'll let the audience help me. Because, Max, we all know how good readers are at making a coherent story.
I know how good the readers think they are.
Oh, yes, yes.
I think we're all aware.
God, some fucking people.
That fucking idiot from Scarab. Bury the fucking children.
Why doesn't she just bury the children alive and come back for them later?
Bury the children, lol.
Because they'll be dead?
You don't know that. They could live.
Oh no. It would have been way too long.
It would have been literally like hours later.
They hit basically in the nighttime. The entire raid was finished just when morning came by.
Yeah.
Okay, so Quest threads are just super fucking lazy. Choose your own adventures then. Got it.
Oh my god, it was legit a fucking quest thread on 4chan.
We were saying that!
We said that.
I just ignore everything Nosehair says.
Yeah, no, Andros provided a screenshot.
Yeah, I
Yes.
saw. Yeah, it was straight up a quest thread on 4chan. So I wasn't wrong when I said it read like 4chan, because it literally was fucking 4chan.
Oh, and it wasn't even on TG. This was on the new quest.
Yes, this was on Quest, yeah.
Oh, God. No wonder it was shit.
Yeah.
I take it that's a problem.
Basically, it's like B.
It's worse.
It's
Basically,
B, but quest threads. Yeah, it's fucking terrible. But yeah, as you can imagine, quest threads in general have very, very, very poor writing to them because the people that typically do quest threads don't know how to write.
I have seen very few good ones, and the only
Yeah.
one I recommend is Anderson Quest.
The Anderson quest was pretty good, yeah. They typically die quite fast because, again, as we've covered before, the readers don't really know how to write a story, and so they'll always choose really stupid options because those options are just so funny. And then the author will try and write it, and then they'll be like,
They either
"Oh,
go
I don't know how to go
funny,
farther."
or they go, full min-max.
Yeah, or they try and do full min-max, and the story ends abruptly because they beat all the bosses, and it's like, oh.
Or the author isn't having any fun, yada yada.
Yeah, the author loses interest because the readers take it in a direction the author wasn't interested in going. Yeah, so it's there's so many points of failure in quest stories that they're just fucking garbage, and I absolutely fucking hate them. I just hate the whole genre in general because even when you get a decent or a good quest story, it's like, why don't you just write the goddamn story, author? You're clearly competent enough to write. So why don't you just write the fucking story the way you want it to be written? It's like, queers, her funny. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah,
Kuyoshi.
fair enough.
But anyway, yeah, the horror story that was Lupine's quest fic. Yeah.
I feel like I should ask, but I also don't want to ask.
But
Oh, they were going to
TLDR's.
explode.
No.
They were going to explode the fucking East Coast.
Yeah, so TLDR, basically Lupine tried to write a Worm crossover with Warhammer 40k, and where Taylor got access to Necron units that she could summon on point values. And one of the ways to regain point values was converting mass into energy and then converting energy into points. And
I'm not surprised they nearly blew up the East Coast.
Yeah, so the solution...
I've seen what Gray builds for his Arby's.
Yes.
No, it's not. No. So basically what ended up happening is the questers decided they were going to spend every single point for the army on worker units.
They only got scarabs.
Oh. Okay, well then that's different. No wonder they...
And then they tried to, quote-unquote, secretly convert all the wastewater in every city on the East Coast into energy to then convert into more points. And their plan was to put scarabs into every single city's wastewater facilities to consume all of the waste and water to convert into energy. And that somehow no one would notice this. And so then when someone pointed out, but what if somehow someone notices this? Their response was to give the scarabs the command to keep digging down until they exited Taylor's range. But at no point did anyone go, what's Taylor's max range? Because they all just assumed that despite Taylor somehow having the range to order the scarabs to cover the entire planet, that she would somehow not have the max range of the entire planet. And so, when they
hit the Earth's core.
Yeah, when they ordered the scarabs to keep digging down if discovered, the author, Lupine, just came out and said, so, yeah, guys, if you guys went through with this order, the scarabs would just dig into the core, and then the volcanoes would erupt, and magma.
No, that wasn't how it went.
That's a definite. You're getting a question from the DM of, "Are you sure you want to do that?"
At that point, Lupine was very fed up with them because they were being very much idiots.
Yeah, they were retarded. Yeah.
It got
Anyway,
even worse
Birdo-
because Lupine literally came out and gave them word of God DM fiat of what's going to happen, and they were arguing with him over it. And I'm like, looking back on it, now I'm just sitting here, I'm like, yeah, Lupine, how does it feel to argue with the DM when the DM gives you a fiat declaration and you sit there and argue with him? How's it feel, Lupine?
What did he respond with?
No, I've never said that to him. It's just personally because I had to deal with an entire campaign where Lupine sat there and argued with the DM for at least an hour every single session because he would do something stupid. The DM would say no, and then he'd be like, "Oh well, no. According to this rule, when you combine it with that rule and this rule, and then this rule, and then using this form."
Every single thing he did.
Yeah, and basically it got to the point where either Faceless finally would shut him down on it and be like, no, I said no, or he would fucking crumple and allow Lupine to do it anyway.
Fucking polymorph wild shape bullshit.
It was so fucking dumb. I hated it so much. It was so annoying listening and do it. And then he comes out and bitches. Then he has the fucking gall to bitch about his readers not listening to him when he gives a fiat declaration.
We're gonna wrap the stream up.
Yeah, this is where the stream ends. Goodbye, gentlemen. We'll see you all on Friday because there's always more and it always gets worse.